All right, this is like my third time recording this video because I'm just going on tangents over and over again. A lot of you guys requested to do Dawnbreaker and talk about how you're going to pull the mini bosses. This is mostly going to relate to how you should pull them in Heroic. You can also use this as a reference for Mythic, but not the problem with Mythic, but Mythic Plus requires percentage count, as you know, so you have to pull trash anyways. So the way you might go about that depends on the level of key you're doing, the composition you have, and there's a lot of like other factors that have to be taken into account. But in terms of landing zone and where to clear, I think this video should be a good guide. Really quick shout out. Thank you guys for requesting this video. I kind of thought it was a little bit more straightforward, but let me know if you have other requests and I'll try to cover them in this type of format if you guys like it. My last video that I posted yesterday about City of Threads did really well, so if this is helpful to you guys, I'd love to keep doing it. Dawnbreaker. You kill the first boss, the second boss spawns, and there's 3 like lieutenant mini bosses you have to kill. As long as they remain alive, the boss is going to be empowered per mini boss. I think it's like a 50% damage and health increase, so when there's 3 of them up, the boss does a lot of damage. Caveat is, in Heroic, you don't technically need to even kill any of them. You can just kill the boss. Unless your entire group is significantly undergeared, you can just pull the boss right here and just tank it, kill it, and then move on to the third boss. If you are deciding to do the mini bosses, this is the order I recommend doing it in the landing zones. So first things first, you're going to land right here. There are no mobs. There are no mobs on this like little platform. There's a pack here, there's a pack here, and there's a pack like on the stairs. There's also like a little pack over here, but you don't necessarily need to pull it. But what I recommend doing is land here, clear mobs, pull the mini boss out and tank them outside. It's very annoying to fight inside. There's a lot less room to navigate. There's a lot of little things you can get caught on. There's the giant tank buster that the mini boss does is this giant like AoE circle. If you're standing in it, you're going to get knocked back, take some damage. Not fun. It's better to fight them outside where everyone can have room to spread out. Once you do that and you defeat this mini boss, the next thing I recommend doing is you would fly down here, and there's 2 spots to land. Are in a pug group or you don't really know, just landing here is a safe spot to do, and then you can just go right up this hill and pull the mini boss that's right here. If you're in a more coordinated group, I do recommend landing here on the hill and then just pulling this entire area. You can skip this. There's also a guy here, and I think there's another pack here. So you don't have to pull these at all. You can just do the mini boss with the 2 mobs that do a couple of frontals and some group damage. Then the last place you're going to want to land is way down the hill. I'm going to actually swap POV here in a second. The only thing I do want to mention is the boss's patrol. When you kill the first boss, the second boss spawns here. He goes all the way down the hill. He keeps walking. He goes all the way past, and he stops right here. He'll stop here for a couple seconds, and then he'll start making his way back up the hill until he gets back to the X. He stops here, and then he keeps this path. A couple things to note is basically you have 3 boss arenas that you can do. You can do the arena, you can make the boss arena down here, you can make this the boss arena, or what you can do is you can end up tanking the boss on the hill, which is totally fine, and it's actually really nice because there's no trash there, so you can always like pull whatever count you need, and then just tank the boss on the hill where there's no count that's going to be in the way. All right, let's swap over to the other POV. So we were up here, let's actually do this. So we were like up in this area, fighting bosses and stuff. We're now going to be down here. What I recommend doing is once you kill the second mini boss, just fly and land behind the inn, back on this path. Landing back here will give you a couple of different options. There is a patrol that goes up and down this hill. If it's nearby, I recommend killing it. If not, what you can do is you can just pull the mini boss out and fight him here, because clearing this trash is optional in Heroic difficulty. In Mythic difficulty, clearing this area is going to be difficult because the boss patrols up here, but there is a pack located here, 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 and there's like a group in front of the little orphanage here, and then there's a pack here. Luckily, like you can use some cool line of sight stuff. Oh, there's also a patrol that moves up and down here. You can use some line of sight spots to group this stuff up pretty easily, nuke it down. Clearing this area is very nice to fight the boss in. If not, it's not a big deal, but it also in Mythic Plus gives you a good bit of count. The thing about this third mini-boss is it's a little tricky because this is the mini-boss that does the Dark Orb mechanic. The Dark Orb does more damage based on the distance it travels or less damage based on the distance it travels. So basically, you want it to go as far as possible. So you want to kind of aim it out where it's not going to hit a wall for a very long period of time. So if you tank it right here where you're landing, not going to end up doing a lot of damage here. If you end up clearing this area, you can tank the mini-boss like here, where you can send it out this way, this way, this way, this way. You can send it out through the 2 buildings as well. So clearing out this area is actually pretty beneficial. Anyways, that's the order I would clear them in. Now, in terms of tanking the boss, basically from here, until the top of the hill, there's no trash mobs, so taking it down the hill is also an idea or a good option. Tanking it down here is good as well. Like I just kind of explained, there's a lot of different ways you can send the dark orb out in either direction with doing it, making it do minimal damage. Or what you can end up doing is tanking it at the top of the hill here if you'd like. This is a fine arena as well, but the preference I think would be this is probably the best spot to tank it. This is probably second if you end up clearing it out, and then this I would say is third. Anyways, I hope that helps. I've definitely really liked this. I like doing this style of video. I like over-explaining things with Photoshop. If you guys have any other suggestions or dungeons you're struggling with, let me know. I do have a boss guide strat for this video regarding Mythic Plus, and then I also have the rest of the boss videos coming out in the near future, and I'm also going to be doing route specific videos too. So keep an eye out for those. If you like this, let me know, and if you have any other ideas, send them down below. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.